Welcome to T is for Transformation. I'm your host, Shaun T. Welcome to the show because today we're going to talk about how life can take you on a journey and you have to change, meaning you literally have to be forced to change. Has anyone ever said to you, you're taking life for granted and it really annoys you because you have nothing to compare it to? Well, today I have a guest that's literally going to blow your mind. Imagine being told you have just 6 months to live. What would you do first? Who would you reach out to? Where would you rush off to visit? The clock is ticking and every moment is precious. Now think about what you do, the places you go, the people you see. But here's the twist. What if your body couldn't keep up with your wish list? What if everything you yearn to do were just out of reach? This kind of scenario is exactly what happened to Chrystal. Welcome to a story of transformation and the invincible human spirit. This is not just any journey, it's a journey back to life, against all odds.
And there was a lot of times at that beginning point that I wanted to not be here anymore. Just wanted everything to just end. I had a lot of health issues, my whole life. And 20 years ago this year, I lost my mother. She was 41 years old. She had a heart attack. I was previously married. There was a lot of abuse that happened in that past relationship, and I was a smoker at the time, and I ended up smoking a lot. My weight kept gaining and gaining and gaining, and I had blood pressure issues. I ended up in ICU, and I was hooked up to life support. So I messaged a friend, and I said, I need what you have. I need to see how this works. Within 2.5 months, I had dropped 27 pounds following the workouts, the nutrition plans. Shaun T played a lot of roles in a lot of his programs with me, and I will share it with you because it is my favorite tattoo. Change takes time, and the only way change is going to happen is if you take that first step in recognizing that the change needs to happen, and it's got to start with you.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. All right, Chrystal, there are a lot of people who are walking around in the world. Their genetics are really great. Their genetics is their thing. Not that they're taking it for granted, but they don't have much to think about. But the genetics in your family cause early loss of life. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
It started with my grandmother. She was in her early 50s. She was diabetic or insulin diabetic. So she passed early in her 50s. And then there was my aunt who was obese. She passed away from being overweight. She was 35. My uncle was 37. He was also diabetic, not taking care of himself. But the part that really touched me the most to start this journey is my mother. She was 41 years old. She didn't take care of herself. She had a heart attack at 41 years old. This year will be 22 years without my mother. That's where this started.
Talk about the moment when you found out you had 6 months to live because of your health.
It was scary being obese and fighting that my whole life. Being into the hospital, being asthmatic due to my weight, almost not making it to the hospital, being rushed there, being hooked to life support. It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
A lot of people can look at that, hearing what you've been through, growing up in a family where you did experience loss, and now you are at a space, an age in your life where you're an adult and you have to make decisions. It can feel like a roller coaster. What was the point where you said, you know what, something has to be different here?
When the doctor told me that if I didn't get my life together, I wouldn't probably be here another 6 more months. And for me, that was scary because it's like I had 2 young boys at that time and I didn't want them to experience not having their mother like I lost mine suddenly.
I have 2 boys, so I can only imagine. First of all, I'll say I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Obviously, you have transformed, and I want to give you an early congratulations.
Thank you.
Because I think oftentimes when it comes to fitness and health, people wait until they see the after picture, see their own after picture, or people on the outside, let's say at the gym, they wait for people to get the result before they say congratulations. And while I know you have already transformed, going through this story, congratulations. If we can go back in time, and the early congratulations, because there were a lot of things you had to do and mental challenges you had to overcome to literally just get to the point where you wanted to make a change beyond the fear of dying early. You had a moment where you woke up on your birthday and you were actually surprised you woke up. Tell me about that.
Last year, I turned 42. The night before I went to bed, I was honestly scared that I wasn't going to wake up because losing my mom at 41, that just meant that I was officially older than what my mother was when I lost her.
What was the feeling you had when you did wake up? What went through your head? Because, to hear like, oh my God, I was afraid to wake up, but you did. So what was that feeling like? What did you take on for the rest of that day?
I woke up and I'm like, I'm here. I'm so grateful. I'm beating all the odds of my family genetics, and I'm going to continue to prove and beat the odds of my family. And of course, I got up, and what I went downstairs and I pressed play.
Let's go. What'd you press play on?
One of your programs, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Good answer. Good answer. No, it honestly doesn't have to be one of mine, but I know that Max 30 is your favorite. When people say something like Max 30 and Insanity is their favorite, I'm like, who are you? But I'm the one that created it, so I should probably just shut up. Having that early childhood influence when it comes to health, and now you're older and you have to make decisions to change and better your health, and you're celebrating waking up, you're literally living life on a roller coaster, sometimes fearful, sometimes, you have joyful moments. But at one point you were also in an abusive marriage that made this even more challenging. Can you tell us about that?
So I was in an abusive marriage before my current one. I was told I was never going to be somebody. I was never going to be able to beat the odds of this. I was wished to not wake up and all the things. When I would go and press play, there was a lot of jealousy and accusations and a lot of fighting and a lot of the other things. Now that I was starting to be somebody and people were starting to notice me because I was showing up all the time. It was hard to come home and face a lot of the things. That's when my early morning started, because I was not being watched and hounded, and I was able to wake up first thing in the morning and take that time for me, fully for me, mentally, physically, and start my day. So it was hard. A lot of things within the marriage, my children, and a lot of things I still struggle and face every day.
Yeah, something we have in common. There was a point when I was in a relationship, an emotionally and sometimes physically abusive relationship. The person I was with told me, they were like, you'll never be a professional dancer. And that was, for me, the catalyst to be like, oh no. There's something about when someone tells me I can't do something that I'm just like, this switch happens and I take it to the next level. And believe it or not, I think when you start to break that barrier, like you got up, you were like, I'm taking this time to myself. You found a time, even in that abusive situation, to be like, this is my time. This is how I'm going to take control of my life. There's literally a 180-degree switch that happens where there's some kind of fuel that pushes your body forward. Tell me about that, because there are people out there right now that are listening that are in the situation that you were in. This may be a tough question, but if you could give them 3 things to think about or to focus on so that even though they're going through the struggle, these little nuggets can help them get just one more day or one more hour.
My first thing is, what is your why? What is your why? What is the reason you wanted to start this in the first place? Your why, and that you're worth it. It doesn't matter what somebody else tells you or makes you feel. Just know deep down that you're worth it and you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. And if you have children, those are also your fire to push you to be living your best self.
Absolutely. I can definitely relate to that. I kind of consider myself a matchmaker at times. And I consider myself a matchmaker at times because a lot of people meet each other through my workouts. And so I know that you met your current wife in some capacity doing Shaun Week, but I just want to hear, because you went from an abusive relationship and you're in a new relationship. What was that transition like, and how did fitness play a role in that?
A part of my home workouts that we do, there was Shaun Week that come out. My wife's friend was a part of the group you had going on then on Facebook. So we had met, and her friend had also lost a huge amount of weight. So we put our accountability groups together, and my wife was a part of that accountability group, and we literally had an instant connection. We talked for months upon months, did the program together, and we've been inseparable ever since doing the programs. We didn't officially meet in person until 2018.
Wow.
Where I flew into Virginia for the very first time.
Pardon my intrusion. Is this your first same-sex relationship?
It is. I've hid a lot of my feelings for a lot of years that were basically made to feel invalid, so I just kind of tucked things away.
So what's it like to literally live and be authentically you?
Absolutely freaking amazing.
Because, there are a lot of people out there, obviously you and I both share that, and there are a lot of people out there, again, I like to use this platform to really inspire and motivate people because, there are people I talk to every day that are in their 30s, they're super successful, they are in some ways, maybe sneaking around, meeting people and not living their authentic life, because even though they know people like us or like them exist, they still feel alone. It's stories like this, obviously overcoming odds and getting into relationships and being able to come out, the more people are able to hear that and hear the power and happiness and how authentic you can be, just really inspires and pushes people forward. Your wife is cute or whatever.
She is.
She
Absolutely.
is. Let's get into the fitness.
Okay.
Tell me more about your actual fitness journey, the weight loss. We heard that you had these health problems when you were younger. We went through the abuse and now the change in the new you. Dive a little bit deeper into the health and the changes that you've made.
With not only just the workout, it's the nutrition and everything all together. I was losing, of course, a lot of weight with the past, of course, and working out excessively, not eating as much, but that wasn't sustainable because it wasn't healthy. Over the past couple of years, when I moved here to Virginia, and it was like a roller coaster, like weight up, weight down, that kind of stuff. I faced a lot of blood pressure issues. It was almost stroke level again. I was back in the hospital again with that. I did see my PCP, and we've had me on some medications, some blood pressure medications to get everything regulated. I became borderline diabetic last year. The struggle, it's still, I still have my moments where it's hard mentally, but I still push through it because that's what's got me to where I am today. So I just keep showing up every day and doing what I know I need to do and what I want to do to be where I am today.
I don't celebrate weight loss unless it's followed by happiness.
Right.
And oftentimes people, we call it the yo-yo, or they gain weight and they lose weight. You actually lost a significant amount of weight. What is the total at this point? Before you tell me, are you happy at this very moment?
I am so happy to feel how I truly feel. I feel happy in every aspect of my life.
And before you give us the number, I think it's really important, and a lot of people have heard me say this before, when you congratulate someone for losing weight, it's really great, and I know that you possibly could mean well, but oftentimes people are doing things to lose weight that are not the healthiest for them. I think kind of do yourself and them a favor and say, hey, congratulations, you look great. How do you feel? Because when you ask someone how they feel, it takes it a little bit further into really helping them understand the process that they're going through. So how much total weight have you lost?
200 freaking pounds.
I look at you and in a non-judgmental way, I'm like, I know what 200 pounds is. I'm 240, so I know. But the only way for us to really see it and to give impact to those out there who are and want to be inspired by you is we need to see a pair of jeans. You need to stand up, put the jeans next to your body so we can see it. Let's go. Let's see how this looks.
Okay, so in my before pictures, which I share all over my social media, these were the jeans that I was wearing, and they were super tight on me. They are 24 plus jeans.
Let's pull it to the side.
I literally fit in one leg.
Y'all don't know we have people listening, but we need a round of applause in here. Thank you very much. These are going to be my motivation for the next 15 minutes.
That means you got to come visit me and bring them back.
Okay, let's do that. I'll give them back to you. Congratulations again for feeling good. Because this is consistency. And I say consistency over time equals results. It's not about the weight, it's about the baggage you carry in your life. And so you carried a lot of baggage in your life. And as you can see, you get rid of people, you get rid of the baggage, you get rid of the health issues as best you can. You navigate through them. And this is what can happen. Huge congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me a time when you were doing one of my workouts or a workout that you found to be extremely tough, because we all have these breakthrough moments where we're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. And then we have that moment where you're like, I can really do this. Because when we look at this, there was a moment that happened where you're like, oh no, I'm going to push past the pain. I'm going to push past the toughness. What was that moment for you?
There was a lot of those moments, and I get them still to this day. I still get those moments. I stop, I take a break for a minute, and I think of all the things you have said in your workout programs. You get in my head. I stop, I have a few cries, and then I just push play and keep going, because I know if I didn't do this, I'd still be there. This is what I need.
It's so interesting you talk about crying, and I remember the first time I did Insanity. My husband Scott and I were working out, and we were doing Insanity, and we were doing pure cardio. I had never done the workout just to like really enjoy it. It was more of like I always did it, almost critiquing it or just like pushing. And I remember getting to power jacks in pure cardio, and Shaun T was like, the stronger you get, the better do you feel? And I just started crying. I was like, thank you, Shaun T. Oh my God, you're so great. But, I say that, I use that because we all have those breakthrough moments. And I think it's really important for us to attach to them because that's the moment that's going to keep you over the hill. Because oftentimes people don't get over the mountain because they don't attach to those things. So tell me about mentally pushing play and how it makes you feel better.
I get up every day at 3:00 in the morning.
That's early.
I go downstairs and I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I think to myself, you know exactly why you're doing this. So I get up early for my body realizes what's actually happening to it. No matter how tired I am, no matter what's going on in my life, I get down there, I push play. I have a workout room in my basement. When I'm done, I feel like $1,000,000. I feel like I can conquer anything after doing any workout. It just makes me feel so amazing, so alive. It makes me feel like I can be my best self, not only for myself, my wife, but my residents at work as well.
Yeah. Oftentimes people say, what would you say to your old self? We've been through the journey ourselves. So what would you say to your kids if they were maybe experiencing this? What would be your motivation to help push your kids forward?
Remember everything that your mother has gone through to get to this day. I don't want you going through the same thing.
You say something really important. You say when doors close and chapters close and you eliminate people, great things happen. Tell me about some of the doors that closed and people you eliminated to really, enhance your life and make it better.
My family all have not been supportive of my same-sex marriage with my wife. I have learned to close chapters and let their negativity out. My sister has also a very negative person and kept trying to feed off me and put me down for all the things and just feed off her negative energy. And I finally closed doors to that. And I love my kids, please don't get me wrong in any way, but they've been alienated away from me by my ex because I'm with a woman. So there was a lot of times where they've learned a lot of the abuse stuff from their father, and it's literally brought me down to the floor too many times. And my wife has had to pick me up 1,000,000 times. And I finally said, 2023 is my year. I'm living my best life. I'm going to close chapters to the negativity. People who don't serve me positivity in my life, they don't deserve a spot in my life. I've closed those doors and I've only literally focused on what's important to me, what's in front of me. So that way all the rest is just not valid.
Congratulations. They're really tough things to do because when people come out, I say everybody's in the closet about something. We think it's just sexuality or sexual orientation, but everyone in the world is in the closet about something and not sharing something, but people choose to judge others. So, good for you for just taking a step to be like, this is my 365 days to push forward. In my book, I say, you're at an average of the 5 closest people to you. So while this may be really tough to the people out there, when we talk about family, especially, and I've really realized this as I've gotten older, when we talk about family, there's a such thing as chosen family. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people out there who may disagree with me, and that's completely fine. But just because someone is blood related to you doesn't mean you have to take their bullshit. You can create space between you and them so that you can thrive and live. Because that is how Chrystal got here. So congratulations, because I know that's really, really, really tough. You and I share something in common. Can we see your trust and believe tattoo?
So let me tell the story about that first.
I want to hear the story.
Okay. At the beginning of my journey, I was like, okay, I'm 320 pounds. If I can lose 80 pounds in a year, I'm going to reward myself with something. So 9 months into my journey, I was down 80 pounds. And I was like, okay, I'm getting myself a tattoo. And you've been my soul super trainer for the last 7 years. So this is amazing, first of all, to be here. So thank you. But I got my trust and believe tattoo with my journey start date, December 8th, 2016. And in those hard moments when you asked me, I look in my mirrors that's in my home gym and I'm like, this is my daily reminder of why I started, where I've been. So if I ever get lost in my mind and think I'm not where I should be or not in the right set, this changes like everything for me.
I love that. Trust and believe.
Yes.
What is your definition of trust and believe?
You've always said trust in the process and believe in yourself. And as hard as all of that is, I've kept putting that in the front of my mind. So that way, if I'm in a doubt of something, I just keep hearing you say, trust the process, trust the process. And even though I'm in complete denial of it, it's like, no, I think he knows what he's talking about. So I keep doing it. I am capable of anything and I can achieve anything I want. I just got to trust the process and believe in myself.
It's really powerful. Because, I asked you to talk to your kids and you've been through the challenges and roller coasters yourself. This show is also about empowering people who are on the verge of maybe making a step forward or people who never even thought about it and they're coming across it. So when we see this, what do you say to the person that's here at this moment, how do you help them trust and believe through your process? Because our processes are different, but I want them to hear from you.
Well, I always say, if I can do this, so can you. And I always remind them that I'm always there for you. If you have any problems or anything, we'll do this together, because I know at the beginning I was kind of by myself. So I wouldn't want you to experience that. But if I can do it, you can do anything too. And I'm always like, let's do this together, because it's a together journey. It's not something that you can do on your own.
Now, I know you mentioned Amanda before,
Yes.
you know, here and there, but you literally moved countries to get married and really enhance your personal relationship. Can you tell us a little about her and how she inspires you every day?
She is the most amazing, sweetest human being in the whole entire world. We both have been on this journey together. Together combined, we've lost 320 pounds. We show up every day together. We push one another. We motivate each other. And we are just 100% each other's support through everything. We are like the best of friends.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sharing your story. I know it's really tough to put yourself in a vulnerable situation, but I really just want to tell you, if you can often throughout the day or a week or the month, if you ever get stuck, which you seem like you're on a good path now, look back to see how far you've come. You know, I say to people, oftentimes people get afraid of plateaus, which I'm sure as you went through your weight loss journey, or you hit a plateau. But plateaus are these things that are mountains, and it's a place where you actually can find balance. And if you think of yourself on a mountain, you can literally look down to see how far you've come with every plateau you push forward. So Chrystal here has hit many plateaus, you've rebalanced yourself, you push forward, and now you're living your best and most authentic life as best you can. And I'm sure you're gonna continue to push forward, and I just really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this more than you ever even know.
With that, we will be right back for some more inspiration in our Teachable Moments. Today, Chrystal showed us the incredible power of the 3 F's: food, family, and fitness. These pillars not only supported her through a life-changing weight loss journey, but also proved crucial when she faced the ultimate challenge, a 6-month prognosis. Let's break down how each of these elements play a vital role in our paths to wellness, and how even when faced with the most daunting deadlines, we can harness them to fight for our health and happiness. The first F is food. Food is our fuel, but it's also our medicine. A lot of people have a really bad relationship with food because you look at it as, I'm cheating, or I need to eat this because I'm on the go. Instead of looking at it like, you know what? I want to eat this. This is a fun food. I need to eat this because it's going to fuel my body. It's going to make me feel good in the long term. So don't look at food as a bad thing ever. Sometimes you do go out and have ice cream, or you will eat dessert. And guess what? Live in that moment and don't focus on burning it off later. But most of the time, just eat healthy things that are gonna make you feel good in your workout, make you feel good in your energy, make you feel good in your focus, and ultimately eat so that you feel good in your life. The second F is family. The role of family and loved ones cannot be overstated. Family is our support system, our motivation, and sometimes the push we need to keep going. And like I said earlier, sometimes you have to choose your family. Remember, you are the average of the 5 closest people to you. So these people are people around you that you want to lift you up, and you want to be able to lift them up as well. That's why I love my Facebook group, Dig Deeper Nation. We are there to push people every single day. And while we're all different, we have one common denominator of helping each other push forward, always forward. Chrystal's journey was strengthened by the love and support of her wife, showcasing how crucial a strong support network is to overcome obstacles. The third F is fitness, which we all know I love. Fitness is about more than exercise. It's about movement. It's about finding joy in that movement. It's about setting achievable goals and celebrating every victory, no matter how small. And oftentimes, people do something that was so profound to me in college. And I remember when people used to say, begin with the end in mind. I think it's a detriment when it comes to fitness because people, when they begin with the end in mind, they want results fast. You have to understand that fitness is a step-by-step process, and those small goals are just as big as the big goal. Without the small goals, you won't reach the big goal. Don't try to rush your health. It's a step-by-step process that's going to take you far beyond you ever thought possible. Chrystal's story is an example of how a ticking clock can be a powerful motivator. Studies have shown mortality awareness can motivate a sense of urgency and clarify what matters most, especially in health priorities. As you heard in one of our other episodes, Keeper said he has more days behind him than he has ahead of him. So he chose ways to push forward every single day to make his life abundant and great. There are small things you can do now and every single day to stay motivated. Set those small goals, walk for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I always say leave yourself wanting more. You don't have to go on a hardcore diet right away. Take out little things every other week and the progress will grow and grow and grow without you feeling overwhelmed. Chrystal's journey through the 3 F's reminds us that transformation is possible no matter the obstacles we face. It's about making intentional choices every day, leaning on those who support us, and finding joy in our journey towards health. Let her story be a beacon for all of us, a reminder that with the right mindset, support, and actions, our health goals aren't just dreams, they're within reach. Remember, your journey is yours alone, but together we can all move toward a healthier, happier life. I want you to always dig deeper in your transformation and, like Chrystal's tattoo says, trust and believe in who you are. Thank you, Chrystal, for sharing your story. Thank you out there for listening and watching Tears for Transformation. I'm here to help push you to the next level of who you are every single day. I'm Shaun T, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.